Hi, this is my 39th video. First of all, I just want to thank anybody who's been watching my videos. I hope that my videos are helping somebody. Um, the goal of my videos are to provide some testimonies, so uh, it helps you if you're a target individual understand that you're not alone and there's others going through the same thing. And this is something that's systematically done to a lot of people around the world. And that you're not going crazy, but they're pushing you to go crazy. Secondly, is also because for my own sake, I feel like when I do talk, when I do express myself, it gets me out of this torment, this psychotronic that's been applied by this technology. So as you've know by now, if you watch my prior videos, I've been dealing with V2K, synthetic telepathy, and other those technologies since August 2019, and that entails the manipulation of my thoughts in so many degrading ways. And so, in my videos, I depict those, and also I also deal with the gang stalking, the um, community harassment, and all the others degrading tactics that they apply on me. And so, I'm keeping my identity as as hidden as possible, because I know what this can do. It can be seen as somebody being schizophrenic, and that's the goal. Um, and and so that's why I'm trying to maintain this as as hidden in regard of my identity. I'm currently employed, and so although I know my employers are all fully aware that this is happening to me and they are participants, I just not gonna make it easy. So today I just want to talk about, I've been lately, there's been this like persona they're trying to implement in me and put in me. And it's been consistently going doing the same thing. And so you probably hear right now what's happening in this environment. I live with perps, and so you hear them trying to disrupt these uh, these videos. This is what they do. And so, as you can hear, this has been a systematic thing where they're trying to push me to believe this false persona and try to get me riled up in the same ways. Um, but I want to talk about this specific new programming that they've been working on, and they've been programming for a while. But I never took it serious. It was almost comical. It's still a little bit comical when I think about what they're trying to program me to accept, to believe, and to see myself as. So, um, prior to August 2019, my V2K, I watched this mini documentary about this artist. You probably heard of her. Her name is Billie Eilish. I'm not too familiar with her, but I know she's a popular singer. She's a pop singer, and I know that that she's popular. She's known. And there's a video about this documentary was about her. And please forgive me if you hear some background noise. It's the perps doing what they do. And so yeah, so there was this video about about her. And if you know Billie Eilish, she's such a if, at the time, mind you, she was maybe 18. She's very young. At the time when I was watching this, she was maybe 18. She dressed in a very weird way. Very baggy. She has like green hair, like very distinct way of looking. And so in this video, they're talking about how she used to be into contemporary dancing, and I think for one of the clip was her in one of her music video called Ocean Eye. And in that video, she's 14 years old or something like that, and doing this sensual contemporary dance. And so is and in this documentary, they're saying how she used to be a dancer, and then she got hurt, and since then she's been very self-conscious of how she looks, and so she's been dressing in baggy clothing and in gothic way. And so it was interesting. It's a good video to because it's for me, seeing her how she was dressed is very distinct to see how she used to be before and how she's very like contemporary dancing and this sensual dance when she was a kid, like a 14-year-old. It's just something I looked at. Okay, well, good, good information. Just moved on and never thought about it. But now the way moving forward now today with the V2K, um, it's they've been trying to program it into saying that in a different matter and different perspective, and they try to create this false persona. In this, in this, in the way they're programming me right now, is trying to make me feel like the way I was looking at her when she was this 14-year-old contemporary dancer, um, uh, somehow aroused me. Somehow, um, I found her, very sexual. It's very, it's comical to me. It's funny, and early on, it was I was laughing more than now, but um, it was how she how I was looking at her when this video was going on, and how I was sexualizing her and my thought of her, like trying to make it seem like I was aroused when I was looking at her as a 14-year-old uh, musician, uh, as a 14-year-old musician, and how like my perception of her basically trying to you know make me look in that fashion, very disgusting. And with like at first it was almost comical. I was literally laughing, and mind you, I'm by myself, and this programming which is used um, applied with this technology, this military grade technology that is able to manipulate perception, your thoughts, and your memory, was implanting ways of perception and in a way to make me feel um, uh, disturbed. Initially it was laughing matter to me. I was laughing even saying her name because I'm very not familiar. It's not Billie Eilish. It's not something I'll think about it, and but it's so not who I am. But it was consistent. They continue to now they added like arousing sensations, which is so weird, stimulating me in all different degrading ways, um, and try to using this technology, trying to manipulate the way I was looking at it, and start using very subjective terminology to describe what I saw. I don't want to say it. It's very degrading, especially because this is a 14-year-old uh, a girl, and they stimulate me sexually. It's just so disturbing. But anyway, it was consistent. Initially, I was laughing about it. It's just this is just you. I'm not gonna intake that. It's just not. It's not even gonna frustrate me. It's just so ludicrous. It's just nonsensical to me. But it got consistent. For before it was like for a whole week. It was just continuously doing that, and the noise campaign from the perps. The whole system to try to intensify this feeling. But now it's just like as my memory is changing and as time is going, um, it's becoming harder for me to think of the way I was used to be able to think before. My memory of it changed. They turned into a more sexual thing. It's almost like they try to integrate some like guiltiness sensation to it. So it's just a systematic way of changing my perception. And it's they've been doing that lately more than before. Before I was able to look at it more of it's almost comical to me earlier on. Now it's just annoying. It's a little bit frustrating. And now when I try to break this false memory and this false perceptions and those narrative they're trying to implant about Billie Eilish, even saying her name can make me laugh. Um, and I try to look at this her image just to remind myself, okay, they just remember this is not real. This is what the way they're planning. So I look at the image, hoping that it's gonna re-trigger me back to a normal. They start stimulating me, um, to break that. And so I this is gonna, this is supposed to frustrate me. And so I've been dealing with that for the few days, and it's getting annoying and more annoying. But I decided to make a video because I realized that me actually speaking up about it, talking about it, it gets me out of this mental game that they've been doing with me. And I always recommend to all target individuals, please speak up. Especially if you're alone, make a video, talk about it, talk about what's happening to you. Hide your face if you need to, but talk about it. It helps. It helps to express yourself. It helps to get out of this false narrative that's going on in your head. Where the way they manipulate you, this psychotronic tactics of just breaking you down and repatterning you in different ways and redesigning you in different ways. When you talk about it, it helps, and you can always look back and look at the videos. So for me, this has been consistent with this specific manipulation of the way I was perceiving this documentary about. It's not even, it's like a 15 minute or even less, a little doc about this artist called Billie Eilish, really young artist. And the way they're trying to make me see the way she was when she was a 14-year-old little dancer at doing this her contemporary dance, and how they try to change that perception into a sexualized thing for me, where I was looking at it in a sexual way, where I was where I was um, aroused by it, instead of what I was seeing her, that before she was more definitely more feminine, and now as a 18-year-old she dressed like a you know baggy clothes, and try um to be more tomboy, and that's for purpose, which I understand now after watching the documentary, and seeing that contrast, and understand that that's a choice that she made. And but they're trying to sexualize it, to say that, oh, when she was a child like this, well, she's still young, really, she's an adult, but she's still young, when she was just a 14-year old. And as I speak about it, it is they're doing very degrading things to me. um they how they're trying to make me see this 14-year-old dancer like it's a musician. They try to make it sound like I was aroused by it. And as I'm speaking about it, they're doing very degrading things. And I do have like I do have perps roommates, and they try to agitate me too, which is not working at this point. But yeah, so the way they try to manipulate this narrative, in hope that I will subscribe to it, in hope that I I'm gonna I'm gonna accept what they say. So they've been doing that for a while. They stimulate me. They use some different tactics, from even dream manipulations. When they started initially playing with this memory, initially it was very funny. As I was saying, I was laughing about it. This is just comical. And then they started playing like sexual modulation. There's a sexual modulation, so dream modulation, um, where they arouse my libido, and apply that to this memory. Um, and so now it's just my memory of it has changed. They added their own little inputs to it. Obviously, they're trying to create this false persona that me, as an adult, will see this 14-year-old Billie Eilish arousing, and it's so disgusting. It's so you know disturbing, um, that it was almost comical. but it's annoying. You know, this is the type of things they do. They try to break the target individual by planning disgusting things. You need to be strong in knowing who you are, because they will try to change it in any ways possible. They will try to make it seem like it's organic. They will try to make it try to make you feel guilty about things they're implanting, um, and initially you will laugh about it. It's like, this is just, it's so nonsensical. Just let it go. That, to the point that now, like, it becomes frustrating. So, and to the point where the perps you probably heard earlier when I was making the video, when they were trying to get me agitated, using noise campaign. One of them, um, you know, she was she's one of the roommates. She was getting ready and everything, and I always try to maintain some kind of. I try to be civil with them. I don't want to, you know, I'm not gonna be this. I'm gonna be smart about it, and I'm civil. I try to interact with them politely, because I know that the goal is to break you. And so if you show that you are still a functioning individual, they don't. First of all, they don't like that, and two, it's just, I'm not gonna be an idiot about it. So, I try to be civil. I try to have respectable, amicable interaction. And one of them was coming out, dressed up, ready to go out and whatnot. And I gave her a compliment. I said, "Wow, you look great." And she's like, "Yes, I look like a 13-year-old girl." Trying to say that, uh, you know, with the things they were playing with me, with Billie Eilish. And I don't know if she was expecting me to be like, "Oh my, wow, you know me so well. So, wow, you just read me like a book. This is me. This is what I'll go for." Um, and and you know, but it's just like, don't you feel embarrassed when you do this? You know that I'm not subscribing to it. You know this is not me. You know that I know that you know it's not me. I know that this is an act that you're playing. You're supposed to agitate me. You're supposed um, to get me mad or whatnot. I know that. I know that. You know that. You know, who I am and who I'm not. And so when I see you do that, know that you're putting an act. And so I just don't understand how they're able to stoop so low. I don't know how they're able um to do such. They degrade me. That's part of the torture. It's degrading. The degradation is, they want me to hate myself so I can harm myself. They want to make my life miserable. This is part of the program. As you can hear, so many testimonies, they're destroying men, women, and children in the most degrading ways and the slow fashion. And I believe this is in theory. I believe that this is for experimentation purpose. They probably get something out of seeing somebody in misery, and it's probably a reaction to the brain, and perfect this weapon that's been ongoing for years. And so when they do that, as the individuals, as participants, don't they feel the in some kind of embarrassment? We all gonna end up passing. We're all gonna pass at some point. Nobody is gonna be here forever. And so living with dignity is quite important. And this is definitely not a dignified way of living. And that's a choice they made. Me, I'm a target individual, so I don't have an option. I will be targeted wherever I go. I know that this is what the program does. I can go anywhere in the world. This will follow me. I understand that, so I don't have a choice. But I would prefer being in these shoes, being the guy who's being targeted with this disturbing, nasty stuff they put in my head, than being on the other side, trying to force somebody to accept this false persona and doing so much degrading things to them. While doing that, I'm degrading myself because I'm taking away my own dignity. To do that for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just financially. I'm sure there's also people who enjoy being part of such a group, like a winning group, not winning, but like a group where they have so much control of people. There's a lot of people that are easily influenced into this thing. But looking yourself in the mirror and being okay and with what you're saying, and when you do that, I mean, it's it's just, I don't know if I could do that. I don't think I would do that. Actually, I know I couldn't do that. I know that that's when I would probably think of I will harm myself, knowing that this is who I am. This is, I do that for living, or I do that for whatever t- reason to people. I torment them. I make my mission to destroy their life or be a participant. Obviously, they're very like bottom level. They're not the architectures of this, so everything is obviously directed for them to do. And so, seeing them doing that while they're doing this nonsensical stuff about Billie Eilish in my head, uh, as a child, as a 14, and walk around and say, "Oh, I'm a 14, I'm a 13." Sorry, she said, "I'm a 13-year-old girl." Some just in thinking that it's gonna be like I'm gonna be ashamed for the things they try to portray in my head. I'm I know who I am, and I know you know who I am. I know that you know this is not me, and so I don't have no doubt I have about who I'm not. This is just so, but continuously dealing with that, continuously being changed, transformed into something that I'm not, with this technology, using these nonsensical things. Um, it's it's just makes no sense. I mean, this ongoing thing with this Billie Eilish, and she's a great artist. But I'm just using that what's happening as such as that, um, to explain the way they try to reprogram me and how they want to vilify me in such a degrading way. Um, it's 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 sickening, but like I said, I thank you God for putting me in this situation versus being in their position, because they chose that and they're doing some terrible things. I couldn't imagine myself waking up every day and say, okay, what's on my to do list? Okay, I need to make sure that this person think about these nasty things, and then I make sure that when it happens, I make some noise, and then make sure that I say this nonsensical things. That, like this, to be okay to live this life, it takes something else. I can't imagine that I would be okay walking around being a normal person after doing that. Especially when especially if I know that person is not that, but it's my job to break him or her into that. Initially they were playing all this feminism and, you know, try to act like they're doing it for all the wrongs I've done to women. When I found out that a high percentage of target individuals are women and being distracted in the worst way. It's already hard enough to be a woman. You know, you have to be careful at times, but on top of that you add this programming where there's people following you, there's people threatening you, there's people, and then you add the V2K. It's such a destructive thing, and it's disgusting. And then you try to present yourself as somebody who's feminist. This makes no sense, but I understand this is just false flagging. I've accepted that, and obviously that person, this thing doesn't work um, anymore. And so, um, this is, by the way, this is my second take making this video, because initially something happened, obviously, and they've been messing with my uh, some of my function, and so this is my second take, and so I'm going to try to make this one faster, quicker. But yes, yeah, so all in all is, for the last few days they've been using this memory of this documentary I watched about Billie Eilish, this artist, which honestly I don't know much about her, but um, and trying to make this moment of her as a 14-year-old girl dancing this contemptual uh, uh, dance, and try to make it seem like somehow this was arousing, or somehow there's something sexual that uh, yeah, and as I say that, they stimulate me, something sexual about it, that this is something I want, which is so disgusting. It's disruptive. It's just And I'm not the only one going through this like sexually humiliating tortures. Um, and they try to make it seem organic by changing certain things and saying, okay, this perception maybe might seem more organic. I know it's not me. I would laugh about it. And now, like with as the time goes, this programming is taking more and more, and being more inserted in different ways, and it's just, it's insane. And I know my memory is completely changed into something else, and they try to be subtle about it, but it's obvious. They're using different libido stimulations and other things that I've talked about it many times. This whole thing is really about to change you. It's about changing you. It's about making you somebody else. Um, and it's nothing wrong against Billie Eilish. She's a great artist, and almost feel almost bad for that. That they're using somebody like that that's very pure and not pure, but like you know makes great music. I don't even feel comfortable listening to that music because they probably will stimulate me in this way. But um, you have to be strong on in who you are, because they will really test that. You cannot subscribe to it. However, weird twists of memories they're trying to make it. And initially they were saying some very foul things, and they continuously did it. It made me try to think in that way. But it's this is the program. This is what they put us in. They mess with my way of thinking. Even sometimes the way I talk can be changed. They've done so much things to me, on a daily, on every day is the same. And so I need to remain strong. But making these videos to me is also a way to speak up, and I appreciate anybody who's been leaving messages and comments and whatnot. I do hope that my videos help you too, and even if it's one person, that's I'll be satisfied. And as I said, we all end up passing at some point. So living a dignified life is important, and what they do is the most undignified, it's the most degrading things, and the disgusting way of living a life by choice. And I'm not gonna say here that I'm a perfect saint. I've done dumb things in my life, especially when I was younger. And I'm not a saint for sure. I'm not a saint. I'll never act like I am, but I am never felt better about who I am since I joined this. Since I joined, so like I had a choice. Since they made me, eh, they put me in this program, um, and I know who put me in this program. My old employer put me in this program. This employer is very well and very deeply connected with the government and has connection there. And I know they're the one that put me in this program, where and now I'm being targeted on a daily basis. So to all my target individuals, please stay strong and know who you are and stick to who you are. They're gonna try to break you in that way. For me, this is that was a round of Billie Eilish used as a way to break who I am, and it's just almost embarrassing to talk about it, but I want to speak about it because that's how that's how degrading this thing is about. Is they'll try to play with all kind of memories, just trying to twist it into something degrading. You probably heard this, like those noises you hear in the background. Those are done purposely, and this is the people that I live with, and they do this noise thing because it's going according to what's happening in my mind, um, which which is something I'm used to it now. But when I see them, I'm very polite. Will be civil, and I will interact with them as if they're normal people. But nobody that respect themselves will do this kind of job. Nobody. Something is off. If you find strength in doing this to people, you are a weak individual. Not weak physically, but weak in other ways. Um, and it's not something that you should be proud of being. It's not, it's not daring things. Actually, you are more you are more influenceable than anybody else, because if you feel that it's okay because there's a lot of people doing this, it just shows how weak of an individual and a strong person, somebody who dare would go against this, which is a big risk. Actually, yeah, that's. But I'd rather not be involved at all. But if I'm involved, I'd rather be the person being tortured than the person that's torturing. I don't know what it says about me, but I thank God that at least I'm in this position versus doing what they're doing. So, to all target individuals, stay strong in knowing who you are. They will test that out. They will try to make you think in an idiotic way, and it will actually, like, it will stick, because it's a program. This is we're subject to this technology that is meant to redesign you. And so, walk with pride, with dignity, whatever nasty things they put in your head, and whatever weird, weird way of thinking, whatever idiotic things. As I mentioned, this was an example. This Billie Eilish thing they're trying to put in my head. Um, be strong in who you are, and know that justice will be done. These people are doing some horrible things, and they will be reimbursed. I am a spiritual person. I do believe in God, and I do think that for things like that, there will be reimbursement. But in the meantime, stay strong and maintain your dignity. Thank you, guys. God bless you.